I have never been this excited about a crafting tool in my entire life. I got Cricut Maker for my birthday and I just can't stop cutting things ever since. I spent the last few weeks trying to figure out what I can make with Cricut, and one of the things I was most excited about was wood cutting. Today I want to make a pair of wooden earrings. I plan to cut an outline of these shapes on wood and then paint the insides with acrylic paint. However, when it comes to painting, I am all thumbs. So I came up with an ultimate painting life hack, which I will show you at the end of this video. For this project you will need a Cricut Maker, which is the only Cricut machine compatible with a knife blade. We will also need a default fine point blade, a light and strong grip mats. For wood I'm using basswood from Cricut. It's around 2 mm thickness. Keep in mind that the knife blade can only be used with the desktop Cricut Design Space, so you will need a laptop. You will also need removable vinyl, or alternatively you could try using sticker paper or transfer tape. I haven't tried it, but if you do, let me know in the comments below how it worked out. You will also need acrylic paint and a few brushes, and some kind of varnish. I'm using non-toxic acrylic varnish. Lastly, to finish off your earrings, you will need a mini hand drill and some jewelry findings. Alright, let's get into the design space and start creating the final design. In Cricut Design Space, I have a new project with blank canvas. I will go ahead and click on the shapes icon in the left panel. I will show you how you can create more complex shapes from the default ones. For now, I will go with a pennant and I will click on it, which will add it to my canvas. Next, I'm going to duplicate this shape by clicking on the icon in the top right corner. With the second shape selected, I will go to the top panel and click on Flip. Choose Flip Vertical. I will rearrange my shapes a bit, and with both shapes selected, I will go to Align, Center horizontally. If you want to adjust the position of one of the shapes, for example, let's go with the top one, select it, hold the Shift key on your keyboard and press up or down arrow. This will help you to move your shape around a bit faster. When you are happy with the position of your shapes, select both of them and click on Weld in the bottom right corner of the screen. This will unite two shapes into one. Select the shape and duplicate it. With the second shape selected, hold down the Shift key on your keyboard and click this rotate icon over here. This will allow you to rotate your shape in equal intervals under angles 30, 45, 60 degrees. I will go with 90 degrees. With both shapes selected, I go to the top bar and click on Align. I center my shapes horizontally and vertically. Now that my shapes are perfectly centered, I will again go to the bottom right corner of the screen and weld them. My first shape is ready. I will give it a white fill. And I'm going to create a similar shape using, this time, an oval. I add an oval to my canvas, scale it up a bit, And in the top bar under size, I'm going to click on this lock icon, which is going to unlock the proportions of my shape. I will set the height to 3 centimeters and width to 10. Next, I'm going to duplicate the shape and again rotate it 90 degrees, holding the Shift key down. With both shapes selected, I'm going to go to Align in the top panel and center my shapes horizontally and vertically. Afterwards, I'm going to weld them. My second shape is ready. I will also give it a white color. And with my shape selected, I'm going to hold down the Shift key and rotate it 2 times to 45 degrees. I will position my second shape over the first one. Going to scale it up a bit. And with both shapes selected, I'm going to center them horizontally and vertically. There is just one part of my design missing, so I will go to Shapes and add a circle, scale it down, and give it a white color. I can again center all shapes horizontally and vertically, and group my shapes by clicking on the group icon in the top right corner of the screen. I will resize it to 5 centimeters width and height. Now let's think about the final product. Since I'm only going to cut an outline of this shape on wood, all of the inner lines and the circle are not relevant. I'm going to duplicate this design and I'm going to ungroup it. Next, I'm going to delete the circle, and with 2 remaining shapes selected, I will go to the panel in the bottom right corner of the screen and click on Weld. This way I get an outline of my design, and this is what is going to be cut out of wood. Since I have a pair of earrings, I need 2 shapes, so I will duplicate my shape and these are now ready to be cut out on wood. I'm going to select both of them and hide them for now. This will not delete them, but simply hide them from the canvas. Now I want you to think about which colors you will use in your final design and how many different colors you want to use. Now, regarding the painting hack, it is important that each part of your design, which will be of a different color, needs to be a separate shape. Let me explain. Right now we have 3 shapes. We have a circle, we have a shape at the front, and 1 shape at the back. If I select these 2 shapes, and imagine the areas where they intersect, each of these areas can be a shape of its own with a different color. Let me demonstrate it by clicking on this slice icon in the bottom right panel. Have a look here on the right. This action created a separate shape for each intersection of my initial two shapes. It also created two duplicates, so I can delete one of them. Now there is something missing on my design because initially I had a circle here in the middle. It's not visible right now because it's on the bottom layer, so I'm going to click on it and drag it to the front. If you look closer, we have another intersection of a circle and this shape over here. Therefore, we need to slice them as well. With two shapes selected, I click on the slice icon in the bottom panel. And now you can see that there is a circle cut out in this shape over here. I have now a circle duplicated twice, so I can delete one of them. What I have now is several independent shapes that I will cut out on vinyl. You can arrange them however you want. I will just position them next to each other. Now coming back to our first two outlines, we will need a copy of those cut out on vinyl as well. Therefore, I select both shapes and I click on duplicate. My app decided now is a good time to install an update, so I will be back in a minute. Alright, so now we have a group of shapes to be cut on vinyl. And we have two shapes to be cut on wood. Actually, you can also group these. For me, the easiest way is to make a group I'm not cutting out right now invisible and then show the items that I'm cutting out right now and then do it another way around for a different material. So I will go with vinyl first, which are these shapes over here. I make sure that my other group is hidden. With the item selected, I'm going to click on the attach icon in the bottom right corner of the screen, which will make sure that my shapes are not scattered around the mat. Next, I click on the Make It icon. I'm cutting on a mat, so I'm going to choose my mat size and click Continue. This is looking good, so I will click Continue. On this step, you need to connect your maker and choose the base material. I will go for Smart Vinyl Removable. The machine is telling me to load a fine point blade in clamp B and my materials, which I'm going to show you in a second. My fine point blade is loaded in clamp B, so I'm going to close it. I'm using a light grip mat. The vinyl I'm using is from Cricut. It's premium removable vinyl. You can also use any scraps that you have. The color doesn't really matter. Alright, now I'm going to put it in. Try to bring it as close to these rollers over here as possible. and click the flashing load button. Let's take a little break to talk about the sponsor of this video, which is my pure enthusiasm. If you are not subscribed to my channel yet, please consider doing so. My channel is still very small and any support from your side is helping tremendously. That was it. Thank you, and back to the video. Once the Cricut is done measuring your mat, this second button will start flashing and you need to click it to start the cut. Once it's done, it will spit out your mat and tell you to unload it. And here it is. I just realized that these look a bit too big, so I'm going to scale my design down and print it again. Now I'm going to make my second group visible as well, so that I scale all the items down just a little bit, so that they are the size that I want. Alright, now it looks good, and I will do all the steps again. Alright, this looks much better. I'm going to peel it off. And put aside until later. Now for the wood, we will need a strong grip mat. Going to take a piece of wood and stick it onto the mat. Now whenever you're cutting wood, it's advisable that you tape it down for some extra grip. Coming back to our app, I'm going to hide this group over here because I don't need it anymore. And I will show the two outlines that need to be cut on wood, and I will move them to the left and attach them in the bottom right corner of the screen. Alright, now I will click Make It. You can't really cut wood without a mat, so this is the only option. I'm going to move it a bit further away from the sides because this is where I taped the wood to the mat, so this kind of steals a bit of space from you. This looks pretty good, so I'm going to click Continue. Here I will click on Browse All Materials, and if I search for basswood, there are two options. Interestingly enough, I tried both of them and none of them was accurate for my wood thickness, even though I'm using the Cricut basswood, which is supposed to be optimized for Cricut. But whenever I choose this option, the machine lets me know that it will do 14 passes, which means it will go 14 times over the outline. However, I was lucky enough to watch my cut because after 9 passes I started getting suspicious. you know, you can kind of approximately see how deep the knife blade goes into the wood. And at some point I just noticed that it must be either close to the end or all the way through already. So I stopped the cut and I unloaded my mat, and when I peeled off the wood sheet, I saw that the knife cut all the way through it and even quite a bit actually into the mat. So I figured, okay, 8-9 passes is the optimal duration for this cut. So I'm just going to choose this setting and then stop the cut after 9 passes. I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong. What are your experiences? Which setting you use for this type of wood? Just let me know in the comments below. Thank you. Alright, I'm going to load the knife blade into clamp B now. Knife blade comes with this little protection cap, so don't forget to take it off. And to switch it up, open the clamp B, take out your default knife and put the blade knife in. Cricut also tells me to put all of these rings to the right side. And I'm going to click the load button over here. It's now finishing pass 9, so I'm going to wait until it finishes the outline and pause it with this button over here. Now I can press the unload button. I can now take off the tape, turn the mat upside down and peel off the mat from the wood. This is how the shape looks like. It definitely needs some sanding, which I'm going to do now. I'm using a very fine sanding paper, just brushing up all edges and wherever there are imperfections. Next we will need some paint. I'm not really an expert in painting supplies, but from what I tried until now, acrylic paint worked the best. And I'm using a small brush. Now what I'm going to do now is peel off one part, and I'm going to stick it onto my wood. Just make sure you align it correct. So once you applied it to the wooden shape, make sure to go over all the edges with your nail so that it sticks properly. This way your outlines are going to be very accurate. Alright, so now You can pick whatever colors you like, and we are first going to paint the circle in the middle and the shapes on the outside. You might want to do more coats of paint for vivid colors. I will go with 2, so I will let these dry out, and then before I peel off my sticker, I will do another coat of paint. Now I'm going to carefully pick the sticker from one side and peel it off. So you can see that all the lines are very fine, except the places where I messed it up. But I think it looks pretty cool. What do you think? Just for comparison, this is what I try to draw by hand. This, in my opinion, looks much better. Make sure you let the paint dry for at least half an hour or so. While I'm waiting for this shape to dry out, I'm going to reuse my sticker on the second one. Alright, so now we are going to do a reverse thing. We will use the remaining shapes to cover the areas that we already painted, so that we can fill out this space in the middle. Like before, I'm going to do 2 coats of paint before I remove stickers and let the paint dry out. I still have 2 vinyl shapes left, and I will use them to paint the sides of my earrings. I stick one of the shapes to the front and another one will go on the back. I'm now going to add 2 coats of gold paint. Lastly, I'm going to apply some acrylic varnish to make my earrings waterproof. it's time to try them on. They turned out very lightweight, but I just realized that they will probably be rotating a lot. So maybe I will actually print them on the other side as well. Otherwise, I'm very happy. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. There is so much you can do with this technique, and I'm very curious what you came up with. So feel free to share your projects with me on Instagram by tagging woodori.studio. And if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. There will definitely be more Cricut tutorials coming up. I hope I managed to record a few before I irreversibly destroy all of my crafting supplies that can be cut. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.